Happening now, the clock is ticking for the U.S. Senate. Lawmakers still working through the night to pass the GOP's big budget and border bill ahead of Trump's Friday deadline. As we take a live look inside the Senate chambers right now, senators are still here debating and voting. CBS News' Naomi Ruckham is monitoring the votes for us.
No.
The marathon vote on amendments continued overnight as Senate Republicans raced to pass President Donald Trump's massive spending package.
This is Congress's job, and by God, we ought to do it.
The bill includes an extension of the president's 2017 tax cuts, his campaign promise of no tax on tips, a new tax on wind and solar projects that use materials from China, and increased border and defense spending. But lawmakers in both parties have come out against its steep cuts to Medicaid.
This bill is going to ruin people's lives.
Fiscal conservatives have balked at the latest Congressional Budget Office report that predicts the Senate's bill would add up to $3.3 trillion to the deficit over the next decade. On social media, President Trump pushed to get his one big beautiful bill across the finish line by his July 4th deadline, calling the legislation the greatest and most important of its kind in history.
Republicans need to stay tough and unified during the home stretch, and we are counting on them to get the job done.
Overnight, the president also reignited his feud with billionaire Elon Musk after Musk threatened on X that any lawmaker who votes for the massive bill, quote, will lose their primary next year if it's the last thing I do on this earth. President Trump fired back, suggesting his administration should take a good hard look at government subsidies for Musk's space, internet, and electric car companies, adding there's big money to be saved. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
Even if the Senate passes the bill, it still needs House approval, and House Speaker Mike Johnson says he's optimistic it'll reach the president's desk, but he wants the Senate to stick close to the House version. And Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson criticized the bill for adding trillions to the deficit, but he did vote to allow amendments this week. Johnson says that doesn't mean he supports the bill as is.
I was a yes on the motion to proceed to hopefully get Rick Scott's amendment in here, which would save another $500 billion if we stop adding to Medicaid expansion population.
The Affordable Care Act gives states 90% federal funding to expand Medicaid to adults making up to 138% of the poverty level.